What is your worst damn? Why did I just do that moment? I pulled my junior year math teacher's pants down because she didn't seem mad enough that someone else pulled mine down. Edit, since everyone is asking. Yes, she was hot. Her panties were pink with a white border. And since it will probably be asked, yes, I have fap to this memory. I'm a loser. What can I say? Edit 2. I'll clear some things up. Yes, I regretted it immediately afterwards. No, I didn't pull her pants down to see her panties. Yes, I should have handled it better. I was 16 and stupid. I get that it sucked for the teacher. After years of getting food and fists thrown at me by people who wanted to pick on someone, I just snapped and took it out on the wrong person. Edit 3. Details have been requested. Students were picking on me that day, which wasn't unusual. Usually it was small embarrassing things like taking my backpack and emptying the contents, or sticking gum on my shirt, or whatever. On this day in particular, they were really out to get me. In class we were in groups, so some of us were walking around and getting items like rulers, protractors, etc. A guy who didn't like me came up and lifted my shirt and sharpied my stomach, so I called him an asshole or something, and then he pulled my pants down and shouted I_suck_it_ most things is naked. Look. And when everyone started laughing, I got really embarrassed, and the teacher just said, don't do that, go back to your seat. And I_suck_it_ most things, pull your pants up and go back to your group. I got angry, and she was standing helping another student, holding a worksheet and book, and I pulled her pants down. I was in my dad's car, and I thought to myself, what if I just spit on the dashboard? Then I spit on the dashboard. He looks at me and goes, what the fuck? I did temp jobs during the summer in high school. They were hard and generally really random, but it was money. Anyway, I was doing a moving/demolition job at this big bank that had recently built a new branch in another part of town. We were tearing down walls, moving chairs, and cleaning out all the crap that had been hiding under all of the furniture after 40 years of operation. Anyhow, I got brought upstairs to the conference room and the foreman told me to break down the giant fucking table that ran the length of the room. Being a very literal person, and having done demolition that whole day, I proceeded to flip the behemoth and go to town in its various legs and support frames. After about an hour of work, I had reduced the table to movable chunks and had bagged all of the smaller bits, legs, and stuff. Long story short, the foreman walked in and said something like, what the / I will fucking kill you / hell happen / pray this can be glued back together. Needless to say, it was like a couple $1,000 custom built table that had been with the bank since it had opened there. They decided not to press charges since I was an unsupervised minor with a hammer and unclear directions. But I pretty much shit myself when I realized what I had done. Damn, I hope Noon who knows me reads this. I was 14. My mum and sister had 2 horses and thus spent their whole free time at the stables. They're located in the countryside and I used to spend some time there, wandering around the forests, taking pictures of abandoned houses next to beautiful seas, and fapping, of course. Sometime in summer, I was on the internet and found some instructions on how to build smoke bombs with some sort of acid I can't remember and sugar. The smoke was said to be harmless, so I didn't think too much of it. Naturally, I spent the next 2 weeks gathering around 20 pounds of sugar and 15 pounds of that acid. I then mixed it together, put it in a huge container, sealed it with aluminium foil, and sticked a fuse through it. Of course, the best location to set this monster of a smoke bomb off was at the stable. I faked some interest in the horses, put the bomb in a backpack and drove there with my mum and sister. Once there, I excused myself and ran to a forest that was right next to the stables, because there's no better place to set off bombs than in a forest in the middle of summer, right? I put the bomb on a tree stump, lit the fuse, and watched in utter awe and excitement as the fuse burned down, and then nothing happened. Crucifix, I thought, since this took place in rural Bavaria, why didn't it work? Suddenly, a little bit of smoke came out, and the mixture began burning in a violet/bluish color. I was really disappointed. Almost 40 pounds of bomb mixture and only a 3-foot high cloud? Suddenly, without warning, the whole container started burning and melting. It burned so bright that I had to look away. Then all hell broke loose. Yellow smoke started to come out of the container at an extremely alarming rate. I panicked and ran away, desperately trying to outrun the smoke that spread incredibly fast. Back at the stables, I ran on top of a hill to watch the nightmare unfold. Half of the forest, at least the size of 5 or 6 football fields, was already covered in extremely thick, yellow smoke. It looked like a fucking apocalypse, and I was responsible for it. A few minutes later, the whole forest was completely covered in the smoke from hell, and a fucking huge ass cloud of smoke that resembled Hiroshima in a horribly accurate way started forming over the forest, at least 200 to 300 feet high, this yellow. And then I noticed something terrifying. The wind picked up. In my direction. In the stable's direction. Soon, the massive cloud of smoke had finished creeping across some cornfields, reached the stables, and continued to cover the whole area in thick, yellow smoke. Then the smoke came inside the stables and buildings, and for the second time, all hell broke loose. The horses went batshit insane. People were coughing and tearing up everywhere. Horses were rampaging around in their stables. Some escaped and ran through electric fences. The smoke soon covered a nearby farm, and the same thing happened there. After T+30 minutes, an area the size of approximately 10 football fields was completely covered in thick, unforgiving smoke. People, cows and horses freely ran around in sheer terror, breaking down doors, fences, and windows. One cow ran into a small river, probably because it couldn't see shit. A guy, actually, the stable owner, crashed into his own garage door with his tractor, tried to back out, hit a parked car, also his, and ran over a telephone pole. My sister got ran over by a startled horse. She later told me she didn't even see the horse until it was right in front of her. 2 other people were run over by rampaging cows, and the stable dog plus a cow were never to be found again. I got in trouble. This one time I was at a party with my friends, and when one of them had to leave, I gently kissed him on the cheek and said goodnight, sweet prince. We are both dudes, and I'm pretty sure it was the 3 helium balloons I had just inhaled to get a funny voice that was the cause. I was around 7 or 8 years old. My dad had a lot in the backyard that had a bunch of miscellaneous shit, like pallets, a lot of boards, snow fence, a big mound of dirt, etc. I was throwing rocks over the fence, and I don't know why. I thought to myself, I bet I could catapult a rock over the fence and that'd be cool. I lay the board over the big mound of dirt, lay a rock on the other side. Basically a makeshift teeter-totter. I take a big leap and slam all my body weight down on the opposite side. A split second later I'm on my ass, and one of my eyes, the vision was all red/rosy due to blood running into my eye. Then I started crying and running for the house. Ended up with stitches on my eyebrow. Shit, why did I just do that? TL. Doctor made teeter-totter/catapult thing to launch rock. Hit in head. Lots of blood and stitches. Driving down the road. Going 55. Friend hands me a glass bottle. Tells me to throw it outside. I assumed he wanted to watch the glass shatter. Threw it in front of us. Glass everywhere. Popped the 2 front tires. Way back when some friends and I, all white kids from La suburbs, drove into downtown La and decided to buy some pot. We found a guy at a gas station who said he would sell us weed, only if we smoked a blunt with him. This dude was thug. His name is Juice. He was terrifying to my honky ass. I was in the backseat of my friend's mom's Escalade. We roll hard yo, and when the blunt got to me, I stupidly said AHH man who nigga lit this? I died. Or at least I wished I did, because I seemed to be the only person in the car who wasn't immediately uncomfortable. Then Juice politely chimes in, I'm about 6 seconds from slapping your ass. I turned red, apologized profusely for what I had done. Juice just sat there quietly for like 2 full minutes looking at me, asked me if I was going to smoke the blunt or babysit that shit, and then he busted up laughing, called me the bravest idiot he had ever met. We became friends and he always used to come over to my house and cook dinner with my mom. Great guy, even better cook. Edit. In response the majority of your questions you guys have asked, Juice did not have sex with my mom. Lord love my mom, but Juice is better than that. Juice ended up teaching me a lot about how messed up my worldview was, especially towards racial issues. He wasn't over all the time as my friends and I preferred to be out doing stuff with trees. I just happened to have really normal parents who aren't afraid of black people, so it wasn't even an issue that he was black. I love that I've been on Reddit about a month and this comment about my own racial insensitivity and drug use will be the largest grossing karma source for a life. I'll be sure to ration it out so I don't end up malnourished and start to repost things. Was talking to a girl at a table full of people, mostly strangers. She said her name was Bambi. I asked what, like the deer. Did your mom get murdered in front of you as well? It sounded funny in my head. I was sitting in 6th grade English class watching a video. My ear was kind of itchy and I had a pencil in my hand. So I was picking at the inside of my ear with the eraser end. This was actually really pleasurable and all was going well until I realized something was amiss. The eraser had come loose and it was inside my ear. No worries, I thought, so I went to grab it with my fingers. Nope, I could not grab it. Each attempt was even more futile than the last. The eraser was pushed farther and farther into my ear canal. I started to panic. Fuck. Why did I just do that? I was too embarrassed to say anything to the teacher and just sat through the rest of the school day as if everything was normal. When I got home I let my mom know. She was cool, but didn't really know what to think of the situation. She took me on an emergency appointment to the pediatric doctor. Upon booking the appointment the receptionist asked me if I was special. My mother let her know I was in fact gifted. When I got there they took a look and referred me on another emergency appointment to a ears, nose and throat specialty doctor. The ent doc took a look and let me know if he was not successful at removing the eraser from the cocoon of my ear that they would probably have to do surgery, which scared the shit out of me. Luckily he worked some sort of voodoo and pulled the eraser out. I got to keep it. I'm not sure what happened in it. My family and friends never let me forget that incident. It actually led to quite a bit of anxiety for me. I'm an adult now and come to think of it, no one has brought up that story in a few years. As a kid I had the fortune to get a 1.5 feet rubber ball. Not the shitty plastic, lame ones, one like this. Now once I got home I decided to play with it outside, like any kid would. I also had a drill in my hands, one with a Phillips head on it. I thought, for some damn reason, hey, I know what a good idea would be. Let's drill a fucking hole in the ball I just got today. I didn't understand physics at the time. It drilled through, and I went from pure joy to oh shit. I thought sitting on the ball would help. Nope. It got completely deflated, and my dad walked out of the garage onto the lawn. I explained through some of the toughest tears what I did, and why I did it. Okay, first I must say that I have a stupid fascination with balloons. Now, the moment. A friend of mine was making a barbecue at his home and invited me. As I arrive, outside of his house was his 12 to 14, not sure, years niece with a female friend of the same age. They were playing with a bunch of helium balloons that they found on the street. You may be guessing where this is going. Wow, nice balloons, I say, as the other girl turns around to say hi, and I notice her huge boobs. Like motherfucking huge for her age. So, yes, I pretty much finish the sentence while looking straight at her boobs. Awkward silence. She turns red as a tomato. I do the same. My friend's niece understands what just happened and starts to laugh to the point of crying, and I try to find the words to explain myself. I start mumbling not yo, I'm not a. Never mind, I better go inside. So, yeah. I was 30 BTW. While in high school a friend's mother passed away suddenly. She had a brain aneurysm and just laid down one day to never awake again. She was his birth mother, but he wasn't too close with her since his parents had divorced while he was young and his father remarried. He asked a few people to give him support at the funeral and keep him in good spirits. Trying to be a good friend I went, as did quite a few others. Well, a week or so pass, and it's time to begin practice for graduation. One day, after we go through the motions and are released to go home, he walks over to me and some other friends and asks, "So where are we all going after this?" Welp, me being the socially inept person I'm answered with the first thing that came to my mind. I said, "To your mom's house." I was trying to be funny. The realization then dawned upon me as to what I had just done. I mumbled, "I'm so sorry." I then walked to my car and drove home. The look of anger that passed over his face is something I'll never forget. TL. Doctor, I told a friend we were going to his mom's house as a joke. Too bad I forgot I had gone to his mom's funeral just the week before. Trying to light a barbecue, not very successful. Thought about using lighter fluid or something, but had none. Time to think outside the box. What other flammable liquids did I have around? Booze was obviously too valuable to waste, but I remembered I had a bunch of bottles of cheap aftershave / cologne that I had gotten as gifts over the years and would never wear. Poured that stuff on the coals and lit it up. The smell was unbelievable. If you imagine the combined stink of all your cheap colognes released into the atmosphere in a single burst, you still don't understand how bad it was. House evacuated because of the stink, and we went to buy booze instead. The shop was a mile away, and when you came out, you could smell my fucking barbecue. I was sitting next to this kid with Tourette's at lunch one day and he started making noises. Food makes him excited, I don't know. So I started making noises with him without realizing what I was doing. I knew, he knew, everyone knew and just looked at me. He asked, "So, you going to make noises with me?" I looked him square in the eye and said yup, made another noise for good luck, got up, and left. I think a little piece of me died right then. Smoking DMT alone, without really knowing how to do it, because it was my boyfriend's, and I was angry at him for leaving me behind, while he went to a giant music festival in California where the bullshit crystal, as in healing crystals, not crystal meth. Crystal meth, at least, actually does something. Dealer named Butterfly, seriously. I set my hair on fire. Seriously. I set my goddamned hair on fire, had to cut it off. Didn't trip as hard as I thought I would, and we broke up anyway.